Hi everyone! I started teaching during an exchange semester in Australia. My friends wanted to learn German to continue their higher studies in Germany. There is a specific test that needs to be cleared to get into German universities called Test DAF. I love to travel and I have been to Australia, New Zealand and many other places in the world. I have traveled so much that there are always students who have been or lived in a place I have been. I find happiness when my students are able to understand their true potential and reach higher goals. Trust is very important for a teacher-student relation. The free-flow model of teaching I follow makes a difference when building a trustful relationship. The best part of my job as an italki teacher is that I get to hear many astonishing experiences. Like a student from Brazil I had a couple of months ago. His grandmother always told him about her roots and her ancestry in Germany and in German. He was very eager to get a connection through the stories and through his grandmother, so he started to learn German. He learned the language with me for that goal. I believe the purpose is bigger than the goal. Purpose defines you as a human being, goals lead you to be a better one. I have interest in psychology and human behavior. I also like rock climbing and sailing. How will the student describe my lesson? It depends on the student. Some students are more serious and some like to have fun. I do have quite many students that rely with my travel stories. I try to focus on making my classes fun. I use textbooks, but if I notice the student is getting bored, I try to challenge him a little bit more. I have a teacher timeout session in between classes when it's time for the student to talk. I like to have a team whereby the student can relate and connect with the material. For example, I talk with my students about sailing, rock climbing, football or anything else they like to do. Talking about this helps with the vocabulary. The team is something the student is interested in and has a natural tendency to learn. I give multiple repetitions to each word, as I believe that helps learning the language faster. And I keep my natural accent so the student gets used to it. I always document my classes on Google Docs so that the student has something to practice with. It's very effective. I have different courses for beginners, intermediates and advanced speakers. If a student is advanced, I try to have a conversation with them and figure out the parts they are lacking or have missed out on. For them I don't use textbooks anymore. But for beginners it makes more sense to use a textbook as they want to learn the basics. Some beginners don't like textbooks. It's just not their way of learning a language. With them I can be more flexible and I try to be more natural and to use real-life situations to teach them the language. I have multiple courses. The German Kickstarter course for beginners and the Stammkunden course for my students who have already completed more than 20 lessons, whereby I give them a special discount. I specialize in providing language training for test staff and the Goethe Institute test for all types of students, from working professionals to passionate language learners. I'm able to change my teaching style according to the level a language learner is on. So for beginner speakers I tend to change my style so that I can be easily understood. Those sessions are more personalized.
Bier ist dank des deutschen Einheitsgebots von 1516 weltbekannt. Aber es gibt viele andere Produkte in der Welt, die von den Menschen aus aller Welt geschätzt und begehrt werden. Deutsche Exportschlager werden heutzutage überall in der Welt hergestellt. Mitarbeiter, die Deutsch sprechen, sind ein großer Bonus für die Unternehmenskultur im Ausland. Ich habe schon einige Studenten, die auf eine Geschäftsreise nach Deutschland geschickt wurden. Solche Möglichkeiten öffnen den persönlichen und geschäftlichen Horizont eines Menschen. Also, fang an, Deutsch zu lernen und öffne deinen persönlichen und geschäftlichen Horizont. Prost!